God.
Hallelujah.
So my testimony is a bit long, but I'll try to make it as short as I can.
The trailer version.
Yeah. So it all started beginning of this year. Believe me, I was at the worst foot of my life. I thought that, there's nothing for me to live for, literally. And one thing that I used to do is to write notes to God every single day. I would write notes. And one thing I noticed on all those notes, there's one thing that I didn't change, was to build a relationship with Him. On all the notes, to this very day, they had the same thing. And I remember, beginning of this year, I had 2 jobs, so I didn't have time. I would come back from work, and I'm so exhausted, and I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. So the whole month of January, it was a good month where I tried to build a relationship with God. February came, I didn't open the Bible, not even a single day. Neither did I pray. And then I went back to my diary again, because I used to write dates, and then I realized, I skipped the whole month of February, there's nothing. Then I continued. March, it was the same. It was still back and forth here and there. And then April, that's when things started going bad. So it was the situation back home. Me, myself, as an individual, I couldn't figure out who am I, where am I going, what's going on. And then April, May, beginning of May, things started going bad at work, so bad that simple task at work, I couldn't do it. I would just procrastinate. I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. And it just got to a point where that time, I was like, you know what? I've tried myself because I'm very stubborn. It's just, it can't. I remember lying down on my bed and then I started crying. I'm like, God, I don't know what to do from here. Just come and help me. At that moment, my sister called me. She goes like, you should start going to church. I was like to her, I'm not interested, believe me. She goes like, no, you should. And then she gave me a list of churches, and then I was like, no, I don't want all of this. Believe me, you should start looking at everything that God puts in your life. Kingdom life came as my answer.
Somebody shout hallelujah.
I remember telling God that, thank you for putting this to me. The first thing that I did, I resigned. That was the first thing that I did. And my manager called me. She goes like, I saw your resignation letter. And I was like, I want to resign. She goes like, can we talk about this? I'm like, I don't think there's anything for us to talk about, literally. I just need to be somewhere. And then she was like, no, we can, negotiate. I'm like, you can sweet talk me out of this, but it's not going to work this time. And that first Sunday was my first Sunday where I was free, where I came here. And believe me, the only prayer that I made was, God said, where 2 people are gathered, He's there. I told Him that you're here, you're going to talk to me. And that sermon was for me. That was me on that day. Believe me, I've had that story so many times in my life. But when Pastor Precious spoke that word, it was different. I saw God changing. I saw God as my provider. He came through as my comforter. He came through as my best friend. He came through as everything, to the extent where I remember when Pastor Precious said, who wants to serve God? I don't remember how I moved from that seat to here. And I was asked 3 times. I've never been sitting in my entire life like I've ever been on that day. And after that prayer, one thing I've known is peace. I have known peace my entire life. And even when things were so bad at home, to the extent my dad wasn't feeling well, and we needed to fly him to South Africa for treatment, my mom, she called me and she was like to me, you're my anchor. If you fall down, I'm going to fall down. Don't do anything to harm yourself because I'm depending on you. And I couldn't show her that I'm also struggling. The only thing that I did, I went back into my small corner. I looked at God again. I'm like, it's the same girl again. She's back. Help her out. So my dad was scheduled to have chemo in his brain because he had brain cancer. And it had made him paralyzed the whole left side, so he couldn't walk, literally. We messaged the hospital that was on Monday. And they wanted to have a special doctor to see him, but he needed over $8,000. And at that moment, there was nothing of such sort. I remember talking to my sister, I'm like, just email the hospital. Tell them that let's reschedule to 2 weeks from now, figure out how to do the funds. The whole week, there was no response from the hospital, and they were like, okay, so it's true, so we're gonna reschedule. The hospital closes at 4 p.m. 3 minutes before 4, they sent an email saying, don't worry about the bill. He needs to fly in by Monday. My dad went back on Monday, went to South Africa on Monday. He started his chemo. And 2 days down the line, he went back to the hospital walking. The doctors looked at him and was like, it has never happened. It has never happened that you came in here, you couldn't walk, but now you can. Yesterday, I actually received a video of him on a treadmill. I was so shocked. So one thing I'm gonna tell you is, don't stop writing those notes to God. He listens, He sees, He watches over you. I just want to leave you with one verse, which is Isaiah 46, verse 4. I'm not sure which translation, but it says, I will sustain you, I will carry you, I will protect you. God has done that to me. Just me standing here, if you had met me 6 months ago, it wasn't the same person. I was a different person, and I'm so happy for Pastor Precious, Pastor Priyanka, for the assurance when you could see that I was struggling. You kept on motivating me to be who I am today. And to each one of you, just know that you're a vessel of God. Is that song that's going to change someone? Is that prayer that's going to change someone? Just say yes to God, and someone is going to be saved by you.
Can you celebrate Jesus? Hallelujah.